Heard the sound.
All right, I'll bring the meeting to order. Do we have an approval of the agenda?
I move approval of the agenda.
Second?
All right, then. All in favor?
Yes.
Yes. All right, welcome to our meeting to discuss the prepared food tax. Just to get, I guess, a point of order out of the way, we have a short presentation by Chief Reckman and City Manager Bruce. And if everybody has heard it already, I see there's just a few people here on Zoom. If somebody would like to see the presentation, could you please raise your hand?
Oh, you're real popular today, aren't you?
I know. We've had the same,
Almost take that as a no, and we can,
we've had the same response had it been the first day.
They could always go and watch one of the other recordings if they wanted to see it too.
right? I guess there's that option to view a previous meeting. I guess I'll get right into it. Since you're here, Deb.
Brandon, you might want to explain why the mayor and Micah, that they're not, but they're listening.
Don't know why they're not here, but they are absent, so it's just the three of us today, and we'll continue on.
Thank you.
Is that Mike on the Zoom or do we know?
I don't know.
I think he had family stuff this weekend.
Yeah, I did.
But that might be Mike. We don't
I
know.
don't know. He hasn't said anything, so.
All right.
Rise and shine. So I presented Yahats and Mike, if you're on, that was a great idea to proceed ahead with the second round because the second round taught me so much and will teach you so much because I spoke to the mayor of Yahats and I spoke to two more really helpful restaurants and heard about a lot of different things. So I'm very well educated and have developed relationships with all of them, and they are very eager to be in contact with us because we have really similar situations. They're doing a school, or they've been in the process of a school. They're looking at all of these same issues. And I think I've put it down there that what they have 800 full-time residents and 10 restaurants. And I think we have 17 to 27 is my knowledge. You probably know, correct me if I'm wrong on anything. Before COVID, they raised $400,000 for the food and beverage tax. Now they do have the beverage part. They use, which is the most valuable thing I think I got out of the meeting, was they use the square. You know, that little, mini pad where and it itemizes it all out for them. They send it into the city quarterly, and then they get a fraction, 5% back for their charges of implementing the food and beverage tax. So I have laid out on this how that's calculated, and I'm not really as good, even though I ran my own business, I'm not as smart on numbers. I had a right-hand person all the time with that. So you can see here, I had them dictate it out to me. So I wrote it word for word what they said. So it looks like it's 5%, and then they give them back a fraction of 5%, and then they subtract that off. So that the people feel like they're not being burdened by this. And so that was really, I thought, useful information. I connected the mayor with Sam because she had a bunch of questions, and they're actually very similar spirits. So I think they would really get along. And one of the people down there was the Green Salmon Coffee Shop, which is, we travel a lot, so we went in there. They were so positive about it, and she was so eager to talk to me about how it's working and just upbeat. She was positive. Yeah, it's helped us with our sewer treatment plant. There was some complaining at first, but everybody adapted. Some people went crazy. But then they saw that they needed the water too, to run the restaurants. So anyway, and then she's the one that told me about the square and how easy it was. So she, any of these people, if any of the restaurants would like to call them, I'm sure they'd be eager to talk to them. I only had one person who's vehemently against it. And what he was really, the no tax mentality, that kind of political, no taxes. Well, how are we going to pay for it? I kept kind of debating him about it. Well, he didn't have any answers and he apologized for it. So he was kind of laughing about another man who they had to put a restraining order on because he's been so belligerent and he owns a restaurant in town. And he runs an underbelly kind of flow of there's always the underbelly of people who they come in and they're negative, but they haven't read the website. They haven't done anything to get educated about it because I would ask questions and they didn't know. So, if anybody wants to object to this, my husband has said he will donate $500 to the local charities to debate any restaurant owner. So this is we'll call that into play. $500.
Deb, I read the information that you supplied us, but I didn't know which one was the mayor.
Mayor is Leslie. I think I gave a whole sheet on just her conversations.
Okay, I
That's
didn't-
most important.
I didn't see this.
No,
I think I didn't know that.
That either, just the restaurant update.
Yeah.
That was your first one, right?
There was two.
From the
These
first
are the
one?
two that they need. And then I this is like super important for you. The calculations and so forth, because Kimmy, her assistant, who is like super helpful.
Yeah, I didn't see that at all. I'd like to see
Oh, it
that.
says revised, and so I thought you revised your first one. Oh, I don't know.
So they should get copies of that. Let me
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to see
make
that.
sure you do because you will really.
Because we got the restaurant synopsis, so to speak, and then the second grouping of restaurants, but no
No, yeah,
breakdown.
right,
We'll get that to you.
yeah.
We have Ashland too. We have 10 in Ashland. There was literally nothing. I think your words here are, we deserve to thrive, and Ashland's thriving there, and they were all excited about it. They are thriving. And they are all for it. They re-voted it back in. Because, the community needs, we have a lot of money, if you think, I ran a business, so I know what overhead is, but I can't imagine what the overhead here is. It would probably scare me, but because, payroll and all of the things that cost so much money, you have to, you can listen to all the people who don't really know what you all know. They don't know.
How much is the tax in Yachats?
The tax is 5%.
5%.
On food and beverage,
Okay,
and they raised $400,000.
And how
It
long,
dropped in half.
how long was the vote or duration or term of the taxing? Is it a reoccurring voting
Yes, they
situation?
revoted that, I think it back in again, yeah. So it started, I think in 2006. This would be, I
Not
think,
Yachats. Yachats did not put a sunset on it.
Okay, since it
There is no.
is not at Yachats, but at Ashland.
Ashland,
There is.
Ashland, they're doing it, I think, every 10, if I'm
10.
doing research correctly.
but as I said, there are people who are negative about it. And the same people who are negative in the rest of the world about no taxes, because it's like, come on, you guys, how are we gonna progress in life? So it'll raise our quality of life in the city for locals, restaurants, hotels, and city leaders. And like Yachats and Ashland will be thriving. And that will refer back to the restaurants. The restaurants will benefit in the end. I will guarantee that. It's not costing the restaurants a dime, except for implementing it. Now the square is their answer, which is gonna be really inexpensive. I think the word village, I looked at their mission plan. That will be the next presentation. Oh my God, they have the pages. I've been reading that and reading that and reading that. We don't have a mission. I think the community wants a mission because they're so scared of losing the village artistic community feel. So let's give them that. Let's help, let's involve them in defining it. I think that'd be fun. I would take that on. I think this is a special place. It's a soul place. So that would be my vision of what it should be. Water rescue yesterday. I was driving above that, and I think we all need to look at, okay, you go out in the water for a swim, the riptide carries you away, you let your start to cramp up. They have to identify who the family is. And, this is all tick, and you're out there gulping water. I don't know where a lifeguard was. Call in Seaside. I mean, this is a rig situation, but I just imagine me as the person out there swimming. Can't imagine they made it. Because I was a nurse and I just can't imagine they made it. Time is brain and time is hard. So how do you save someone fast? I think we need water rescue here. So that is another expense we have to think about. City Hall, I took a tour the other night. This is Grand Central Station for emergency services. All of the phones, network, everything, people are leaders. And seismically, I see the droop in the roof. I saw droops. I mean, oh my God, the floor. These people deserve better. Okay, this City Hall. I mean, are the restaurants still working without a dishwasher when they do it by hand? That would be my question. So these people deserve more here in a work condition, morale, not working in tiny little spaces. If there's an earthquake, crumble, who's going to save the rest of us? It's not going to stand up to an earthquake. It's not above the tsunami zone. This is Emergency Management Central. What if they're injured? Can't get out? What if Rick Hudson can't act? Jason, I'm worried for that. They work in very tiny, cramped positions back there. And these are our city leaders. We cannot be cheap with safety. Yeah. You are leaders and you have six for six showing up here. So do what's right. And 10 meetings with 6 people, you can go on. I think the debate's the answer. We'll challenge a debate. See what kind of, Bob, I'm surprised he's doing that. I mean, he feels that strongly about it. Wow. I think, as leaders, you just may have to say, we're going to do this and we'll reevaluate and see where it goes. That's my opinion. I'm not telling, you have to do what you do, but there will always be that underbelly of people. So you are finding solutions to the burdens of the world, you guys, okay? You must have some sleepless nights worrying about all this. I'm worried for you and I'm a volunteer. So I'm worried about it too. I worry about the people who need you and the emergency people. So I invite the restaurants. I would really like to hear more solutions. I want to hear solutions to all of it. I don't want to hear any negative. I don't want people to have a restraining order about somebody being nasty, which Yahat said. He tried to run people off the road. There was some stuff I uncovered. It was like, whoa, okay. How are we going to pay for these needs? And with exploding tourism and exploding needs out there, the sheer numbers of people coming in translate to sheer calls, and they're already experiencing it. So let's have some compassion and empathy for each other and for this community, and let's learn to thrive because we deserve it.
Thank you, Deb.
Thanks,
I'm
Dan.
gonna apologize. I did find her email and I did just forward it. I missed that one. So it was right with her
I
other
can
one.
make plenty of copies and oh, by the way, I did the flyers for all the fireworks. I don't know if you guys have seen them. They are.
I think
blasting
they're
out to thousands of
wonderful.
people.
Great.
And they're having quite the response. I'm getting a few nasty phone calls, but that about 98% positive. Good for Cannon Beach. They're pro-environment. Good for them. And some people, well, they're change that back. Somebody mad about sparklers, all of the stuff, but I know how to overcome it. Because we've already lost 2 nests of black oyster catchers in the last week.
Do you know why KGW is coming Monday?
Pardon?
They're coming to talk about this, about the funding. And then they're picking up on the water rescue on Thursday.
Oh, the media. Oh, yes. They never
That's the main
tell me
thing.
everything.
So they're going to talk about the food and beverage tax?
Meeting at station on Monday at 11.
Okay.
It's a teachable moment. It's a teachable moment. And it's really sad because, I mean, I'm sure, I don't know what happened, but as a nurse, I know what happened. Okay,
Thanks again.
Kind of reminds me of that,
I'm here for you guys, okay?
that water rescue member, Elliot Herring, on July 3rd of 2007.
They'll probably be down a few times. And I'm putting out the press release that Jason wrote on Monday, so, and I'm leaving town, so I think I'm not the one to answer to all of this. So I'm happy to answer any questions you guys have, if you guys want to take any of these. Bob Kroll, compliments of Bob Kroll Photography.
Yeah, they're beautiful.
Yeah, he's amazing.
I'd just kind of like to stay focused on our meeting
Yeah.
topic here.
Absolutely, but that's just.
Thank you. Ma'am, did you have anything you'd like to add? All right.
I just don't Zoom well.
Okay.
And after this
Well,
meeting-
welcome.
Is that Lynn? Hi, Lynn.
After the meeting, I'll get her other comment, the one with the mayor up on the website, so.
Okay.
Thank you.
That's been forwarded to you guys, so I
Great.
apologize.
All right. I believe we have someone sitting through Zoom that would like to speak. Jan?
And then looks like Betsy wants to speak too.
Okay, great.
Let's bring up Jan. There we go.
Hello, can you hear me?
You can? Hello,
Great.
Jan?
Yes. So I'm Jan Siebert-Warmond, and I'm reading this letter from myself and my husband, Wes Warmond. Our address is P.O. Box 778, Cannon Beach, Oregon, 97110. Dear Mayor and City Councilors, happy Juneteenth to all. We'd like to express our gratitude to our first responders and also to the restaurant owners, workers, and even the musicians who perform there. We've all been dealing with the pandemic now for 18 months or so, with some of us struggling more than others. As we've heard from many of the restaurant folks, dealing with a food tax would be hard for them at any time, but a food tax at this particular time would be especially unfair. Once again, we ask you to take a breath, slow down, and look at where we're heading as a community and at our ever-changing quality of life. How are we treating each other? How are we caring for the nature that so many people come here to experience? We urge you to heed the concerns brought to you. We urge you to not rush ahead with this food tax at this time. We urge you to wait 1 year, see how things unfold, and then, if no better solutions have been found, and you're still inclined to attempt this food tax as a solution to address our needs, then let us all vote directly. Please be open as you listen to us, your constituents. We voted for you all because we think you are respectful and somewhat wise, not omniscient. There are times when it's appropriate for only you counselors to vote on certain community issues. There are other times when it's appropriate for all of us residents to vote directly on an issue. This food tax is one of the latter. Let us all vote if and when the time is right, which, as we've clearly heard, is not yet for the residents who would be most affected by this food tax. And please don't vote just as a council and then have us residents vote to ratify or not ratify what you voted on before us. And with all due respect to our city manager, it's our understanding that according to our laws, he should not be lobbying for this food tax in any way. In closing, this is a very complex issue with many possible variables concerning a new police station, city hall, or emergency center, etc. We're just beginning to really open up again as a community who can meet and discuss matters together. Please give us a chance to come together and do just that in the coming year. Thank you.
Thank you, Jan. Still have Betsy?
Yes.
Okay.
Brandon, can I just address or ask that one thing addressed that Jan said? And I don't know if Emily is on.
She is.
If you're ready to address it, but any discussions I've had, any materials I've prepared, anything like that, it's gone through the city attorney. It is my responsibility to provide information to you, to provide ideas to you. And there is a point at which the information is transmitted to the supervisor of elections, that even then staff can provide information, but the information can strictly be factual at that point.
Yes, that's my understanding.
Right, so anything that I am doing right now has been reviewed, I've been advised by council, and I am just trying to, I can advocate. But up to that point, and then I just can't, that's when it would be over to you as far as being the advocates for whatever we decide to move forward with. So thank you. I appreciate it, Brandon.
Thanks for clearing that up.
As I see it, you're providing us the information that we have been asking for.
Yes.
It's not until after the election has, if there is an election, has been set.
Right.
Then you cannot, you can still provide information. You just can't provide the supporting marketing materials and all of the lobbying that does go into it, but you can provide the information, the facts about what would happen if such and such happens.
And actually, we can generate the marketing material. It would be reviewed by the Secretary of State's office. But I don't know exactly where the line is, but I think that when we're talking, I don't.
I think we need to be careful and know where the line is, or at what point that it becomes.
Right, and but that line,
Can you find that out for us?
yeah, and I was going to ask Emily if she is aware of that, but
Okay,
I believe that the line kicks in at the point that we submit the material to the supervisor of election. Then it changes as far as staff, but we can provide factual information and advice during that time. So Emily, do you have anything on that? I know that I have been advised and admonished by Ashley in the past.
I think so far we're in the clear. I can do a little research about when exactly staff can no longer provide advocacy. I would say my understanding is that if the council decides to refer to the voters, then there's a very laid out process for making sure that the ballot title, Ashley went over this a little bit, but to make sure that the ballot title is completely without advocacy, just explaining what the vote would do. And we'll make sure that is clear and legal, and there is no, advocacy in the ballot title, the ballot statement, all of that information. But I think that is the point at which the city can no longer advocate. And if you want more information, I can find it and get it to the council.
I think it'd be helpful to be accurate with what we're doing.
Okay.
I ask a lot of questions and I don't get the sense that he's biased at all. He's trying to be in the middle of the road. I mean, I would know that. I don't get that he's doing that, so I disagree that he's showing any kind of bias at all.
Thank you.
Right, yeah, thanks. Let's see if she is. Yeah,
Yeah, she's raising her hand.
Patiently waiting.
thank you,
Anyway,
Betsy.
hey, everybody. Hi. So I have to say, as someone who's lived here since 1968, that you can take it from me that I hate change as much as anybody else does, because I just don't want anything to change. But I fully support the council's ability to make this decision as a city council. I don't think we need to go to a vote of the people on the food and beverage tax. I support the full 5%. I support both food and beverages being taxed in our community. I feel like the city manager has the responsibility to make sure our community is safe, as does the council, and that's what most of this is predicated on. And I don't think there should be a sunset to this tax. I think we should just put it into the way that our community raises money to take care of this onslaught of tourism that we are stuck with, whether we like it or not. And I get it that it will be hard for maybe some small businesses to accommodate the change, but maybe there could be a way to offer some free tech support to people who are uncomfortable with understanding how to manage this tax as they do their businesses. Okay, that's it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Betsy.
Betsy.
I don't know if I mentioned this at the last meeting, but we do have a member of our budget committee that has offered to work with any of the businesses, including dealing with the vendors, to help them implement their systems
Okay.
at no cost.
Is there anyone else?
Nobody else has raised their hand.
All right. Is there any discussion amongst us that you'd like to have?
Not without the full council, I think.
I agree with about the same.
Yeah.
We'll be having a meeting on the 23rd to discuss this. And at that time, we'll seek public input. Am I correct?
Yes. Also, I think that that will be an opportunity for council to kind of assess where you are in the process.
Okay.
So that's 6 p.m. The 23rd, Wednesday.
6 p.m. on the 23rd then.
And what's happening Monday at 10?
Monday at 10, we are having our coffee with the counselors. So anybody who wants to come, either there's some limited seating available in City Hall, or you can Zoom in. And if you can't make it, we do have it recorded so you can look at it later on. But please come, please share your concerns and questions and on any topic that you wish.
Thanks, Nancy. Mark, did you have anything to add?
No, I don't think there's really anything to add this time.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll adjourn the meeting then, and thank you all.
Is it possible to ask Jan a question, or is that inappropriate, or?
Yes, somewhat, I would say.
Okay. I just wanted to ask you first.
Yeah. It's adjourned, I think.
Yeah, meeting.